In this age of abundance, technology is transforming humanity. To keep up with the pace of this ever-changing landscape, Mahindra IT Center Mumbai has taken a bold initiative in the form of Drishti Technology Lab. This facility is dedicated to research on its in-house developed technologies, testing and evaluation of the latest technologies which help strengthen the IT infrastructure backbone of the entire Mahindra. The sole purpose of this initiative is to promote the culture of innovation within the company.
The only thing that is permanent is change. In today's world, for an organization like Mahindra & Mahindra, we need to adapt, evolve and strive to succeed. And the way to do that is to innovate. Internet of Things is the new buzzword in the technology world today. It has the potential to not only impact how we live, but also how we work. It solves and simplifies the problems that we face in our day-to-day lives. IoT has exploded in different domains of our lives, be it our homes or be it the manufacturing shop floor. Connected devices, connected machines, connected cars, smart plants, smart cities, artificial intelligence are just to name a few. When our competitors are investing millions of dollars in third-party vendors to avail a secluded research and development facility, we have our own Drishti Technology Lab set up out here not only to evaluate and do POCs of new technologies and products, but also to come up with new ideas, conceptualize them and design a solution around them to address our day-to-day problems. Drishti Technology Lab helps us to create, collaborate and celebrate technology.
Hello folks, so a team within Drishti Labs, right? We work in a very iterative space with a diverse set of people trying to solve different kinds of problems leveraging Internet of Things. And our team is basically focused on the edge ecosystem of different kinds of sensors and microcontrollers, how we can actually try to solve different kind of business problems. We started pretty small when in the inception phase, but right now when we see in our past journey what we have achieved, we are feeling really proud about our entire achievement in this space. Just to give you a few highlights about our projects that we did was when we started with the optimization of our foundry in Kandivali, where we actually started monitoring how our crucibles are actually consuming energy, how are basically the press pour and other auxiliary devices consuming. And what we did was we were able to capture the data in real time and then machine level and provide a very basic dashboard for the maintenance team, which is actually doing a lot of root cause analysis and saying, hey guys, look at this is the way the charging needs to be done. Set up your alerts out here. The holding doesn't seem to be right in a particular process. I believe the night loads on particular machines are actually not as per the standard operating procedures. So these are the kind of visibility which we were able to provide the maintenance team, and it is actually driving operational energy efficiency and also across the foundry. Now this same model we are trying to replicate with different PU shops out here and as well different factories and the sites of Mahindra.
Hi, I'm part of infrastructure planning and projects team. I'm also responsible for the COE, that is Center of Excellence. As a part of this ownership, I do a lot of proof of concept study. That includes the hyperconverged infrastructure, software-defined storages. Also, as a part of the networking components, we do a lot of proof of concept, that NAC, that is Network Access Control, and multiple other products what we do it. Drishti Lab allows us to do a proof of concept without touching any production environment. It ensures saying that partners or vendors who are coming for the proof of concept, they cannot touch our production, they cannot see what is running on, they will not have any kind of access to it. The Drishti environment is totally isolated, and it is always available for the vendors to come and do a proof of concept studies. In fact, it gives a lot of creativity also. It always saying that because it does not touch the production, you are always free to do what you want to try. So for example, while we do a security test, we actually load the viruses on our systems in the Drishti Lab. Basically what happens if you try to load such kind of viruses in the production environment, it can impact everything around. In this Drishti Lab, we are free to do such kind of a test, and we know saying that what kind of a success ratio each of a product gives us, and then it helps us to do a final selection of the right vendors with all the creativity comes in.
So the next area of focus under IoT, under the Drishti Labs initiative, was the application of robotics across manufacturing and supply chain use cases. Now, we are not just talking about here, vanilla robots. We're trying to fuse different kinds of sensors together and trying to prove a concept such as an IoRT, that is the Internet of Robotic Things, which is very much evident coming in the future generation. So we built a small M-board, that is a monitor board, named as Hari, in our lab itself, indigenously right from the scratch. And we were able to provide him a complete body of a robot with help of our own 3D printer, which is there in our lab, and we tried to fuse it with different kinds of sensor. Now this robot is able to do telepresence on different remote locations where the supervisors or the head of the departments want to have a view. At the same time, it is also able to tell you how is it feeling, what are the conditions around. Are the conditions pretty inhuman for a person to basically go there and do some activity or not, or some kind of preliminary diagnostics for the machines out there. Now this concept, which was a prototype which we did, is going on a next level. We're trying to combine this with vision technologies, augmented reality, at the same time trying to fuse it with drones, so that this complete set of robots can be actually used across the manufacturing and supply chain use cases in terms of remote warehouse monitoring, remote shop floor monitoring, or whether it be just a simple basic human health and safety use cases across the manufacturing side of it.
The initiatives whatever we have implemented at Technology Lab are the command center, which is totally built on the open source. It was our first initiative under the guidelines of the Technology Lab. The other thing is on the end user experience related to SAP transactions. So where what we do, we measure each and every transactions whatever user is capturing in the system in the three broad buckets, that is the client time, network time and the server time. It also has a capability to give the forensic analysis, so that what user, which time, which IP address, which host name he has used to punch a transaction in the system. So that is a kind of a detailing. Around 35 lakhs records we are extracting daily, and that is possible, and it was made possible using Hadoop engine. So that was the first initiative on the Hadoop platform which we have initiated in the Technology Lab.
The future looks very bright for Drishti Technology Lab with numerous opportunities. Working tirelessly on disruptive technologies like predictive maintenance, smart monitoring, asset tracking and 3D printing, Drishti Technology Lab is playing a small but significant part in making Mahindra ready for the future. Charging ahead with a vision of boundaryless thinking, Drishti Technology Lab closely adheres to the core values of Mahindra Rise, accepting no limits, alternate thinking and driving positive change.